repaired. Component repaired. Shield down. Component repaired. detected. Units received. Product received. Product received. Hostile ships approaching. Hostile ships defeated. Toxins detected.
Now we gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Maybe where's the golf cart?
Welcome to the channel, Space Travelers and Explorers. You have conquered the stars, battled sentinels and bent the universe to your will. But are you truly ready for the ultimate late game experience? Today we are going bigger, louder, better than ever, because in this guide I'm dropping 30 expert tips that will supercharge your No Man's Sky journey. No fluff, no filler, just game-changing strategies. Want the best upgrades for all your gadgets? I will show you how to clone them. Struggling with sentinel farming? I've got you covered. Need the Atlantic multi-tool or the out-of-age Voltaic staff? I will show you the way. Want to farm out-of-age currency quickly, push your starship's performance beyond its limits and travel to the center of any galaxy at lightning speed? You are in the right place. I am the OODA Looper and this exoskeleton is my best friend. A walking tank capable of soloing every enemy including powerful mechs and walkers. This Sentinel Interceptor is upgraded beyond what the game tells you is possible. And this, my brand new powerful staff from the out-of-age camps. In this video I will show you exactly how to unlock the full potential of your gear and become an unstoppable force in No Man's Sky. Some of these tips even go against everything you've been told for years. We are busting myths, exposing hidden mechanics, and don't skip a second of this guide, because by the end to cover today's tips tree with a highly relevant trick after the Relics update, which significantly boosted fossil digs. Players can now collect ancient bones to assemble their own T-Rex and showcase it in a base exhibition. However, if you land your starship directly at a fossil bed, you won't be able to dig up those ancient bones because the game won't allow terrain manipulation. Simply move your starship away to fix this issue. Tip number 2. Ever encountered an annoying never-ending sentinel alert loop that prevents you from summoning your starship even after disengaging with the sentinels? There is an easy fix. Deploy a save point or a save beacon, create a restore point, then reload your save. This will remove the sentinel alert and allow you to summon your starship. Tip number 3. Ever wondered how to turn the AI-guided Minotaur exoskeleton into an unstoppable war machine? By default, it wastes time, often firing a weak mining laser or awkwardly using a short-range flamethrower against distant enemies. But with one simple tweak, you can make it a battlefield powerhouse, capable of shredding sentinel mechs and walkers. Just uninstall every weapon except the Minotaur cannon. Its explosive area damage makes every shot count. This forces the Minotaur to ditch ineffective attacks and focus only on destruction. Drop the cannon upgrades into supercharged slots and watch your exoskeleton unleash its true power. With this upgrade, combat becomes faster, smoother and way more satisfying. Tip number 4. Hunting for powerful upgrades can be challenging, especially for unique tech like the photonic core, available only on the Starboard Runner from Expedition 12. However, the developers have provided a legit way to clone items using the equipment synthesis option at the expedition terminal. Here is how it works. When you start a new expedition and visit the space anomaly, you can copy your starship and multitool from your main save to speed up progress. This requires only nanites. But there is more. This feature also allows you to copy starships and multitools from the expedition back to your main save, meaning you can duplicate rare upgrades as many times as needed. For example, if you have completed Expedition 12 and obtained the Starboard Runner with the exclusive photonic core, you can transfer this upgrade to other ships. Simply set the starship with the desired tech as your active starship in your main save. Copy it to the expedition mode using equipment synthesis. Make it your active starship in expedition mode, then switch back to your main save. To initiate the process, first store your original starship in a freighter so the game allows you to copy a new one. Extract the photonics core from the cloned starship, salvage it, and repeat as needed to install the upgrade on all your starships. The same method applies to multitool cloning. Just store your existing multitool in weapon storage before copying it. This makes upgrading new multitool much easier, as you can duplicate top-tier tech instead of hunting for it again. This method also allows players to customize the Iron Vulture starship by extracting its parts to create own version in preferred color. If you already own the Iron Vulture from past expeditions, copy it to a new expedition, store the original in your freighter and extract parts by salvaging the cloned starship. Repeat until you collect all 3 parts needed to assemble your own Iron Vulture in any color. If you don't own one yet, ask veteran players or friends to share the parts with you. This is how we have fun in the late game, cloning rare tech, customizing ships and making the grind effortless. Use this strategy to your own advantage. Tip number 5. Did you know that storms enhance your character's abilities? While the game provides hints, they are often hidden behind our log messages. Blizzards allow the mining beam to operate much longer without overheating. Firestorms grant nearly infinite jetpack fuel, enabling you to fly into space if desired. Radiation storms significantly increase terrain mining yield, while toxic storms greatly extend sprint duration. Take advantage of these effects to maximize efficiency in extreme weather conditions. Tip number 6. Did you know that only the highest tier hyperdrive installed on your starship is needed to travel to lower tier star systems? For example, installing a purple hyperdrive grants access to all our star systems. While having all types of hyperdrives installed provides adjacency bonuses for increased range, this trick can save valuable tech slots for more essential upgrades until you unlock all necessary slots. Tip number 7. Late game is the perfect time to start mastering upgrades for your exosuit, starship and multitool. The best upgrades in the game, which with some exceptions provide the highest bonuses to your gear, are illegal X-class upgrades. These are obtained at pirate space stations and offer the best and fastest way to earn nanites in No Man's Sky in 2025. I have a quick 5-minute guide on my channel explaining how you can earn 75,000 nanites or more in just 15 minutes using this method. Be sure to check it out and learn this approach if you haven't already. These upgrades have a random spread of stats ranging from C-class to above S-class level, so optimizing your gear will require installing hundreds, if not thousands, of these upgrades. The good news is I will only explain the crucial upgrades you need for the late game, and you can leave the rest for the end game when you have more time to perfect your gear. First, let's start with crucial exosuit upgrades. This is how your exosuit will look in the late game when fully upgraded. I uninstalled all types of translators, since my character already understands the languages of all species in the game at a decent level, and I need 3 slots in my exosuit's text section to search for the perfect upgrades while progressing. I use these 3 slots to install several X-class upgrades at once, comparing them with the ones already installed, which saves a lot of time while searching for the best upgrades. If you didn't know, installing more than 3 similar upgrades for a certain technology will overload and disable all of them. To restore them, uninstall the excess upgrades and keep only 3 of a kind to avoid overloading. Mixing upgrades of different classes will also overload the technology, so always remove the lowest class ones, keeping only the highest tier upgrades. Unfortunately, the developers didn't add a way to track certain exosuit parameters like they did with standard classes. Starships and multitools, so you won't always be able to see the direct effect of an upgrade. My setup is considered one of the most efficient at the moment, providing the best adjacency bonuses for all exosuit technologies, according to the most experienced players. Feel free to use it as a template to customize your setup based on your upgrades and playstyle. X-class upgrades offer the best bonuses for the life support system and are relatively easy to acquire since they have only 2 variables. The maximum upgrade values are believed to be plus 75% solar power and plus 110% life support tanks. Jetpack upgrades, on the other hand, are much harder to optimize since they have 4 different variables. The ones I have installed probably took several hundred attempts to get. I would compare this to mastering endgame gear in games like Diablo or Path of Exile, where finding the best possible items for your character is the core of the experience. If you don't want to spend so much time trying to hit the jackpot, you don't have to. Just go for standard S-class upgrades. They provide slightly lower, but still decent and guaranteed bonuses. But if you enjoy the challenge like I do, X-class upgrades add an extra layer of depth to the endgame. Among all X-class upgrades for the exosuit, hazard protection upgrades are the most important. They are the only hazard protection modules in the game that boost resistance to all types of hazards, with a random 1 to 10% resistance per stat. The best possible roll is 10% resistance for each hazard type. S-class hazard protection upgrades, on the other hand, grant full protection against a specific hazard type when charged, but don't increase resistances. That's why getting 3 solid X-class hazard protection upgrades will significantly improve your survivability in extreme environments. Combining them with core hazard protection and C-class hazard protection units, which also increase resistance to a specific hazard, provides a huge boost to your character's overall resistance. For example, my character has around 80% resistance to all hazards, which allows survival even in the most severe storms for extended periods. Installing these hazard protection modules together also grants additional adjacency bonuses, further improving survivability. You can fine-tune your setup by monitoring the resistance timer in the lower left corner during storms and in harsh environments. Defense system upgrades have the same maximum bonuses for both S-Class and X-Class, but reaching the maximum threshold is easier with S-Class due to the more consistent stat distribution. There are also two unique types of exosuit upgrades. First, forbidden exosuit modules. You can obtain these by destroying sentinels, which occasionally drop salvage glass. This glass may contain sentinel exosuit fragments, which you can install in your exosuit to acquire forbidden exosuit modules. Second, salvaged upgrade components. These can be obtained using void modes, a currency used for trade with the autophage race at hidden autophage terminals scattered across the game. That's a lot of upgrades and information to take in, right? And this is only the beginning of the ultimate late game guide. Tip number 8. Nexus Quicksilver missions vary in complexity, with some taking longer to complete. If you want to avoid certain mission types, remember that Nexus missions rotate every 10 minutes within an hour. If you check back during the next interval, you will see a new set of missions. The mission list remains the same across save files, meaning that switching between game modes won't change the available missions unless the timer resets. Tip number 9. Congrats! The hardest part of upgrading is over. The exosuit is the most difficult to upgrade due to the inability to clone upgrades, but with multi-tools and starships, things will be much easier. Before diving into details, let's clarify an aspect of both multi-tools and starships that might confuse newer players: damage potential. You have probably seen videos with catchy titles or thumbnails advertising the highest damage multi-tools or starships in the game. While this may seem important, the reality is more complex than it appears. Damage potential is not the raw damage output of a single weapon, but rather affected by the type and the sum of all installed weapons, including the mining beam. For starships, you can see the real DPS output by hovering over a particular weapon system. But for multi-tools, the only way to check real damage is through combat testing. Even then, anyone with shooter experience knows that DPS isn't just about damage numbers. It's a combination of damage, reload speed, accuracy, clip size and hour factors. Every weapon in the game has strength and weaknesses, so choose the one that suits your playstyle. Avoid installing too many different weapons, as combat will become a chaotic cycle of switching between them. Since the mining beam is permanent and the terrain manipulator, while removable, is impractical to uninstall and reinstall constantly, you will already have extra tools to cycle through in battle. Since No Man's Sky lacks full-scale PvP and the PvP elements it does have are unbalanced, focusing solely on damage potential is unnecessary. Before committing to a multi-tool or starship with 4 perfectly aligned supercharged slots, consider how much time you actually spend in combat versus exploration, mining and other activities. A balanced approach is often more effective, and the hype around perfect supercharged slots layouts is overestimated. For my personal setup, I prefer the Boltcaster, as it offers a tactical combat approach with excellent shooting speed, precision, reload speed and flexibility in battle. It reminds me of the best mechanics in traditional shooters, and it has access to unique upgrades unavailable to any other weapon. Forbidden multi-tool modules. You can obtain these by destroying sentinels, which occasionally drop salvage glass containing sentinel weapon shards. These can be installed into your multi-tool to enhance the Boltcaster performance. My upgrades have some of the highest stats possible, and of course I've cloned them via the expedition terminal, so make sure to use this feature to duplicate the best upgrades you find. X-Class illegal boltcaster upgrades offer the highest potential bonuses but are difficult to max out since they have 4 different variables. If you prefer a different weapon, search for the appropriate X-Class upgrades as they will always be superior to S-Class ones. Illegal Analyzer's Visor upgrades are significantly stronger than their S-Class counterparts and provide incredible value. However, rolling high stats on these can be challenging since they also have 4 variables. The best possible stats are 10,999% in all 3 categories and a 50% scan radius. In theory, X-Class mining beam upgrades could outperform S-Class, but in practice I've installed hundreds and never found one better. Both upgrade types cap at plus 20% mining speed, so just go with the best S-Class upgrade you can find and clone it as needed. As an alternative weapon, I prefer the Paralyzer's Mortar, which is highly effective against agile targets, then combined with the Voltec amplifier for increased damage to stunned enemies. For optimization, if you have a tool installed on your multi-tool that you only use occasionally, like a fishing rig, you can store it in your inventory when it's not needed. This reduces the number of active tools during combat, making weapon switching faster and more convenient. Tip number 10. You can track down any resource you need at any time by using the auto-track mission feature in the in-game catalog. For instance, if you are searching for uranium, open the catalog and guide menu. Go to Materials and Items, then navigate to Raw Materials Exotic and select Uranium. Clicking on it will add a new quest to your log called Locate Uranium, which will guide you to the nearest planet with uranium deposits. To use this method, the material must already be listed in your catalog, so if a resource isn't available, purchasing it from a trade terminal or NPC will add it to your database. Tip number 11. Building additional landing pads at your base will allow NPC pilots to land there, giving you the opportunity to trade with them, buy starships and even attract an elusive exotic ship if one is present in the current system. This method lets you conduct trades and starship purchases without needing to travel to a trade outpost or space station, making it a convenient way to interact with NPC pilots at your base.
It's crazy bread from Little Caesars and you can't get enough! Daydreams of buttery garlic-flavored drizzle distract.
Tip number 12. Starships have 4 primary upgradable characteristics, each with a clear progression bar and numerical values that make tracking improvements straightforward. Damage potential, as I explained in the multi-tool upgrade section, is not the actual damage output of the starship, but rather the combined potential of all installed weaponry. However, I recently discovered that a basic A-class Sentinel Interceptor can sometimes have a higher damage potential than its upgraded S-class version, which makes me skeptical about the accuracy of these numbers. This inconsistency suggests that the displayed values may be bugged or misleading. Shield strength and hyperdrive range are self-explanatory, but maneuverability is a more interesting factor. It affects both speed and the responsiveness of a starship controls while flying. The higher the maneuverability, the faster your ship moves and the smoother it feels, especially in dogfights. I consider this the most important stat, even more so than weapon damage, because the majority of your time in No Man's Sky is spent flying rather than fighting. This is why I find starships with 4 supercharged slots dedicated solely to weapon damage too one-dimensional. Instead, I prefer having 3 supercharged slots grouped together for weapons and 1 separate slot for a pulse engine boost. Having 1500 or more maneuverability is a game changer, and once you experience it, you will never want to go back to starships with lower responsiveness. Now let's go over the best starship upgrades. In general, the best upgrades for all starship systems, including weaponry, are X-class illegal upgrades. However, maxing out all stats on these upgrades is not easy. For example, launch thruster upgrades have a huge stat spread, ranging from -5% to -25% launch cost reduction, while S-Class upgrades always guarantee -20%. For hyperdrive, shield, pulse engine and weapons, the best X-Class upgrades will provide the highest performance, but if you can't get the launch cost reduction, while S-Class upgrades always guarantee -20%. For hyperdrive, shield, pulse engine and weapons, the best X-Class upgrades will provide the highest performance, but if you can't get the decent ones quickly, stick with the best S-Class versions until the endgame. Don't forget to take advantage of adjacency bonuses, as Starship upgrades allow you to monitor the results in real time. One of the most interesting aspects of Starship upgrades is the hidden bonuses provided by decorative figurines and trails. Some of these offer adjacency bonuses when placed correctly. Polo plus 5% maneuverability boost and adjacency bonuses with Artemis and tentacled figurines and trails. It should always be placed in the center of adjacency tag for the best result. Artemis plus 5% maneuverability boost and adjacency bonuses with polo and tentacled figurines and trails. Tentacled plus 5% maneuverability boost and adjacency bonuses with polo and Artemis figurines and trails. Our figurines provide individual bonuses without adjacency effects. Apollo plus 8 Starship gun damage, Atlas plus 50 light year hyperdrive range, Nada minus 10% launch fuel cost, Null plus 0.5% Starship shield strength. All installed Starship trails provide a plus 1% maneuverability boost. However, only 5 figurines or trails will contribute to maneuverability at a time. Installing additional ones won't further increase maneuverability. To maximize adjacency bonuses, place the polo in the center. The rest of the figurines can be placed anywhere to provide their individual bonuses. It's also important to know that certain trails have priority and will override ours then installed. The priority order from highest to lowest is chromatic trail, red, green, stealth, golden, sputtering, temporal. This means that if you install a chromatic trail, it will override all others, while a golden trail would be overridden by red or green. If all of this hidden mechanics information already sounds impressive, prepare to have your mind blown even further. Then testing these mechanics to push my Starship's maneuverability to the limit, I managed to reach over 4000 maneuverability. However, this came at the cost of cutting my primary weapon's damage by 2/3. Interestingly, despite more than doubling maneuverability, my Starship's speed increased by only about 20% in the atmosphere and 4% in space, providing that the effectiveness of extra maneuverability diminishes significantly beyond a certain threshold. This principle of diminishing returns applies to all technology in the game. Just like resource extractors suffer from efficiency drops when stacked in excess, so do our upgrades. Next time you see a video claiming to showcase the most powerful multi-tool or Starship with insanely high damage, you will know that these exaggerated numbers come at a cost, making them less effective than they might appear. This is exactly why I don't recommend hyper-focusing on boosting a single stat. A well-balanced, versatile Starship is always the better choice. Keeping maneuverability between 1500 and 2000 and primary weapon damage around 70,000 to 90,000 will yield the best overall performance.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys.
Tip number 14. Now that you know forbidden Sentinel modules can be obtained by destroying Sentinels and collecting salvage glass, how can you farm them efficiently? There is a simple trick to ensure a fast and effective method. Among the 3 types of regular flying Sentinel drones, repair drones, heavy combat drones and summoner drones, only heavy combat drones drop green combat supplies, which have a decent chance of containing salvaged glass. To maximize your farming efficiency, avoid destroying the triangle-shaped summoner drones. These will continuously summon heavy combat drones, allowing you to farm salvage glass quickly and efficiently. Tip number 14. Exocraft raiders are an incredibly useful tool for locating valuable objects across planetary surface without spending a single unit. By activating the scanner in your exocraft, you can easily locate points of interest such as trade outposts, sentinel depots, drop pods, abandoned structures, ruins, alien structures, secure facilities, distress signals, and even crushed starships, which can be explored for significant profit. Unlike handheld scanners, exocraft raiders offer a broader range and can highlight points of interest that would otherwise go unnoticed, making exploration more efficient and rewarding. Whether you are hunting for ancient ruins, submerged cargo, or alien technology, mastering the use of exocraft scanning will greatly enhance your ability to uncover hidden wealth scattered across the universe. So don't ignore this technology. Install the radar on the exocraft of your choice and use it to your advantage. Tip number 15. Atlantic multitools feature unique bonuses not found on other multitools, which I will reveal later in this section. They also have an exclusive glow thanks to change in shading and illumination introduced in the World's Part 2 update. To gain access to these multitools, you need to complete the main storyline of No Man's Sky, also known as the Artemis Path, as well as the A Trace of Metal mission. While the Artemis Path is a straightforward way to unlock many endgame features, A Trace of Metal has specific requirements that must be met. With the exception of the Nintendo Switch version, the mission will trigger once you meet the following conditions. You must own a planetary settlement. The settler's entry in the mission log must say you are free to explore, meaning there are no pending settlement mission objectives or resources to collect. You must be in a different system from your settlement. If the mission does not trigger, despite meeting these conditions, warp to a nearby system twice using your ship's hyperdrive, which should trigger the mission. On Nintendo Switch, the mission triggers in the middle of the first Traveler, the 5th story mission of the Artemis Path, or after warping 25 times, whichever comes first. Once you meet these requirements, head to a Corvax system and scan for alien structures. It must be a Corvax system, because Atlantic multitools are tied to Corvax lore. On the planet, search for alien monolith using one of these methods. Firstly, you can use planetary charts with alien cartographic data, which you can purchase from the cartographer at any space station. Secondly, you can use the radar of any ground exocraft except the Minotaur with a scanning module installed and select the Scan for Alien Structures option. Finally, combine this with searching for Sentinel interceptors in Corvax dissonance systems. Completing a repair quest will reveal the nearest alien monolith, allowing you to exchange the harmonic brain and get a random Atlantic multitool, effectively killing two birds with one stone. At the monolith, look for a purple glow, move closer and interact with the discordant interface. Resonate glyphs using Atlantidium, then interact with the interface again to extract a random class Atlantic multitool. All monoliths on that planet will offer the same multitool design, but the class will vary from C to S. If you want a different design, you will need to search another Corvax system, much like hunting for Sentinel interceptors. Each Atlantic multitool comes with a unique technology called Runic Lens, which functions as a special mining beam and grants invisibility. This allows you to instantly break contact with aggressive sentinels, making it a highly useful combat tool. Installing a mining beam with the Runic Lens triples mining efficiency, making this multitool super valuable at all stages of the game. Atlantic multitools come in 3 distinct color patterns: black-blue, black-red and white-gold, each with unique glow colors and reflections. For me, it's the best looking multitool in the entire game.
Pizza Hut right now is offering any large pizza for just $10. That's right, any pizza, 5 toppings on crust.
Tip number 16. Maximize your starship capabilities by diverting power to engines, shields or weapons depending on your current combat situation. Supercharge your engines to close in on enemies at top speed and obliterate them with max-powered weapons. You can divert power by pressing slash on PC, which provides a 15% boost to the selected system. By default, power is set to balanced mode, equally distributing energy among all starship functions. Tip number 17. Valtech staffs, known for their high damage bonus, can only be obtained from hidden out-of-age camps scattered across the universe of No Man's Sky. These staffs often come with some damage slots. To craft Valtech staffs or purchase parts, you must make sufficient progress in the They Who Returned out-of-age questline. Blueprints for the 3 basic Vault-Tec components are awarded through Autophage Quest, while our unique staff parts must be purchased with void modes at Autophage Synthesis Terminal or Harmonic interfaces. The easiest way to find a hidden Autophage camp is by using the radar of any ground exocraft, except the Minotaur, to scan for drop pods. Once you locate a drop pod, head there and use a polyphonic core attachment available in the They Who Returned questline on your multitool to detect nearby hidden autophage camps. The autophage camps and its synthesis terminal will always be located near a drop pod. There you can exchange void modes for unique exosuit upgrades, autophage customization options and autophage staff parts. These customization options can later be accessed through the appearance modifier. At the terminal, you can assemble the autophage staff by inserting a head, core and pole to begin the assembly. Be aware that colors and class vary between terminals and interfaces, and they also differ for each player. If a particular terminal doesn't offer a desirable staff, try another terminal to search for your preferred color and stats. Tip number 18. Void modes are used as currency in transactions with the autophage race. If a particular terminal doesn't offer a desirable staff, try another terminal to search for your preferred color and stats. Tip number 18. Void modes are used as currency in transactions with the autophage race. They are essential for purchasing unique appearance modifier cosmetics, Vault-Tec staff crafting components, and rebuild exosuit modules from autophage synthesis terminals and harmonic interfaces. One way to obtain void modes is by decommissioning Atlantid multitools at the multitool decommissioning terminal in the space anomaly. However, this method isn't very efficient, as decommissioning an average C-class Atlantid multitool yields only around 600-700 void modes per tool. A far more effective way to farm void modes quickly is by using cloning techniques previously discussed in this video. Equip an Atlantid multitool as your primary multitool and duplicate it using the expedition cloning method. Then simply copy it with nanites and decommission it for huge amount of void modes, depending on the class and number of unlocked slots. A fully upgraded S-Class Atlantid multitool with 60 unlocked slots provides over 19,000 void modes, allowing you to stockpile them quickly without the need for additional farming. Easy void modes. Tip number 19. Utilize your freighter scanner room for rapid system scans. This scanner allows you to scan all planets in a system simultaneously, saving a significant amount of time. It's particularly useful when searching for specific types of planets, whether you are looking for relic worlds or Earth-like planets to settle in. Tip number 20. While all beginner players start their adventures in the Euclid Galaxy, the first galaxy of the game, there are 256 unique galaxies in No Man's Sky. At some point in your journey, you may gain the option to travel to other galaxies while progressing through the main tutorial. Additionally, you can initiate fast galaxy travel on your own, but doing so via conventional starship travel can be extremely time-consuming. The average distance between a galaxy's edge and its core exceeds 700,000 light-years, while even the most advanced freighter hyperdrives can only cover around 6,000 light-years per jump. That's a lot of jumps. Fortunately, there is a shortcut to speed up the process significantly. To do this, locate a portal and enter the first glyph 12 times. Ignore the Atlas error message and proceed through the portal. This glyph sequence will always teleport you approximately 5,000 light-years away from the galaxy center, regardless of which galaxy you are in. From there, you can travel to the center and embark on a breathtaking journey to an adjacent galaxy. However, there is a major downside to galaxy travel. Each journey between galaxies will completely break your exosuit, current multitool and starship, even if you travel using a freighter. This results in extensive repairs afterward. Fortunately, there is a useful trick to minimize the damage. Before making the final jump to a new galaxy, obtain a random ship and multitool and switch to them. This way, the replacement multitool and starship will take the damage instead, safeguarding your main equipment. Unfortunately, exosuit damage is unavoidable, but this trick significantly reduces the number of repairs needed. Additionally, some galaxies can be accessed through featured community highlighted bases at the space anomaly. Since this method uses the interstellar terminus teleporter, your equipment won't be damaged, making it an excellent way to explore distant galaxies quickly. Use this to your advantage to discover remote worlds efficiently. Tip number 21. The fastest way to reach a teleporter in systems where you don't have a base is actually via your freighter rather than through a space anomaly. There you might get a random landing spot every time. If your freighter is properly arranged, you can ensure fast and convenient access to the teleporter. Even if this only saves a few seconds per trip, it adds up significantly over hundreds of uses during your journey. If you don't have a freighter yet, maybe it's time to check out my Ultimate Freighter Guide, which explains the best way to get the freighter you want. Tip number 22. You can actually summon your freighter while on the surface of a planet, giving you the fastest access to it and creating an incredible visual effect, especially at night. All your frigates that are not deployed on expeditions will also be visible, surrounding your freighter in the sky. Only by doing this can you truly appreciate the massive scale of your freighter. Tip number 23. In this section, I will share some valuable refining recipes that you might find useful in your journey.